Hi, I'm Wendy, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to set boundaries with your audience when you're giving a presentation. So, it is really quite crucial that you deal very effectively with audience members and that you do set some boundaries. So, I'm going to give you a few tips on how you can do that. The first thing is to maintain a professional tone. So even if you're faced with fairly disruptive behaviour, you shouldn't respond with anger or frustration, even though you might feel like you want to do that. Maintain a very professional, calm, composed demeanour. Your tone and your body language should convey authority without escalating the situation. The next thing is to use assertive language. Now, I don't say aggressive language, I say assertive, not submissive, not aggressive. It's got to be somewhere in the middle, assertive. So clearly and assertively communicate the boundaries that you expect. You could do that at the beginning or throughout. For example, you might say, look, I appreciate your input and I want to ensure that everyone has a chance to participate. So let's keep the discussion focused on the main topic. You see what I mean? So you can try that approach. Reiterate ground rules. You may have some ground rules, some expectations at the start of your presentation or your meeting, and it doesn't hurt to reiterate them throughout. So establish them at the beginning, and if you need to, remind your audience a little bit of the way through. Now, direct attention back to your presentation. So some people can hog the limelight and they can be a little bit disruptive and can affect the rhythm and the flow and affect the vibe in the room as well. So politely redirect the audience's attention back to the main content of your presentation. So you could say something like, thank you for your comment. Now let's get back to the discussion. I'd like to pick up where I left off on this topic. Okay, another thing that you can do is to offer to address concerns after the presentation. So you're not dismissing the person's point of view out of hand, but you are needing to move on. You are needing to regain control of the situation, but you can also offer to address their concerns when it's finished. So if they do have a valid concern that requires a little bit more time, perhaps it might be more appropriate to have a one-on-one discussion with that person. So offer to address it after the presentation. So for example, you could say, look, I appreciate your view, your perspective, and I'd be happy to discuss it with you at the end of this presentation. Right now, let's continue with the topic. And lastly, if you have to involve event organisers, if it does get a little bit out of hand, hopefully it won't, then don't hesitate to do that. Stay consistent and firm throughout the presentation. So consistency is key to enforcing boundaries. Any good teacher will tell you that, and parent as well. If you set a standard for respectful behaviour, apply it consistently without fail throughout the presentation. All right, so just remember that your goal is to maintain a very positive and respectful environment. So you set the tone. At the same time, you shouldn't be walked over as well. It's important to set boundaries firmly but politely. That way you establish yourself as an authority in your field and you promote a very conducive environment for learning and engagement.